they tried to find us. The security come out and he was like, oh, I thought you left, but no, we're here. We're not leaving. The animals need us to be here to defend them. This is a slaughterhouse. I'm here to not cause alarm, harassment or distress, but I am here to defend animals. I'm here to exercise my right to protest, to be on public land and film the animals and film this area from public land. Please subscribe. To put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. Yeah, we're not leaving. You thought we left, but we're not leaving. We'll be here every day for as long as you guys operate. We are not here. We're never going to let the animals down. We'll keep turning up until this industry is destroyed, until this industry is destroyed by people taking action and going vegan. Because when you are vegan, you don't pay people to stab animals in the throat. You don't pay for gas chambers. You won't pay for the mutilation of pigs. You won't pay for the artificial insemination, what they call grape, for cows, chicken, pigs, turkeys, sheep. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. So, we stopped the live, we just took a moment on the side to pretend that we left. Security come out with their clipboard like, oh my gosh, you're still here, and then run back in. Then someone else come out as well, and they're discussing what they're doing right now. They don't realize that we're here. We're gonna be here as much as we possibly can do. Thank you to all the activists who are in the live chat right now. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan, someone who hates animals and is pro-exploitation. If you're not vegan, you are basically like a racist towards animals. It's speciesism. Don't be speciesist towards animals. They need you to defend them. They need you to do everything you can to protect them. Right now, the biggest war in history, and that is happening today, is happening on the animals. The animals need you. They are like children who have done nothing wrong. They're defenseless, childlike beings. Yeah. We're constantly looking this way because that's where the trucks will be coming from.
Why are you here today?
Sorry?
Why are you here today?
I'm here to defend animals from the exploitation that humans are forcing upon them. Behind me, animals from the dairy and beef industry are being killed. But it doesn't stop there. Around the world, there's gas chambers where piglets at 6 months old are being gassed to death inside CO2 gas chambers, a pit of hell.
Someone put, I just subbed because I want to say that I'm anti-vegan and I'm not racist, by the way.
Okay, thank you for subscribing. If you are anti-vegan, you are racist. Yes, you are. You're speciesist towards animals. It's exactly the same form of racism. You treat someone different purely on the way that they look. Speciesism is that you're treating someone different purely on the way that they look. They're animals. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share, comment, subscribe. We're going to be showing you over the fence in a moment.
Let's bring that to the left a little bit so we can get up over there.
This way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to show everyone over the fence in a moment, guys.
When that red truck moves, we'll be able to get and show the layerage.
Yeah, because guys, right now there's a truck in there being washed down. That truck's going to leave any moment, okay? They're washing down the truck because when animals are afraid, they wee and poo everywhere because they're trying to evade danger. They're going to fight and flight mode. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. Did you know that in the egg industry, the egg industry is not an innocent industry, it's an exploitative industry. We rescued chickens from a gas chamber, okay, who are going to be sentenced to a gas chamber at 18 months old. At 18 months old, these little babies, purely because they've been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. Naturally, chickens should only lay around 12 to 13 eggs, okay, so all their nutrients are depleted from their body from laying too many eggs. The farmer then comes and takes those eggs, and when those chickens get to 18 months old, their egg production slows down, they get sentenced to a slaughterhouse to be killed. I'm at a slaughterhouse today where animals are coming in today. Stay on this live stream. This is a life and death live stream. This could change the world forever. We're fighting, we're part of the revolution for the animals. We're fighting for the liberation and the freedom and the rights of animals who are sentient, who have a conscience, who have a brain and a central nervous system just like you and I. They're no different to you and I. That's why I say you're being racist. If you are not vegan, you are racist against the animals.
Ryder put, what does anti-vegan mean?
An anti-vegan is someone who is pro-exploitation, who likes to stab animals and abuse animals. And number 2 is someone who is open-minded, but they don't know this industry. is someone who might say that they love animals, but they're disconnected from what they purchase to the victim, just like I was. I used to pay for these places to exist, and I didn't know what was happening. I thought that cows just produce milk and we needed milk. I didn't know that cows have to have pregnancy forced upon them. I didn't know they have their babies taken away from them so that we can steal their breast milk and then they're killed. I had no idea. And then the number one is a vegan, who is someone who doesn't exploit animals, someone who is against the exploitation, the abuse and murder of animals. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet, subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. This is a slaughterhouse. This is a slaughterhouse, and this is a life and death live stream. Inside this place there is death. They're killing the most innocent individuals on the planet. There's Quick Fit there, there's Aldi there, everyone's wandering around, right? But animals being taken inside this evil place to be killed, to be stabbed in the throat. We have security on the gate here right now. They thought we left, so they come out, they try to see where we were. We're still here, we're still here. We're gonna keep fighting for those animals because they need us, because if I was in there, I would want someone fighting for me. I would want liberation. Those animals are no different to you and I. A lot of people have this superiority complex where they think humans are better than animals, but humans are animals. We just look different. Just like how men used to treat women differently purely on the way they look. Just like how white people would treat people of color differently purely on the way they look, or race, or whatever. We need to get this out of our humanity. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment.
Frazee was born vegan. How cool is that? Be cool, be vegan. I'm glad I was raised vegan, so I never had to adapt.
You were born vegan. You are so lucky. You're like pure. How lucky are you? That's so awesome. Because I look back at my life, for 26 years, I used to eat animals. And I used to pay for like leather and wool, things like Ugg boots. I used to really like Ugg boots. I didn't realize that was the skin of a baby. I didn't realize that was the wool of individuals who didn't want to die. I didn't realize the wool industry was exploitative. I had no idea. I didn't know they all get killed and sent to a slaughterhouse.
There's a lot of noise in there. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah, security's coming here now. Is this truck going to be moving?
He's on the phone again. He's on the phone.
On the phone again. Probably delaying trucks.
Why does security go on the phone?
Yeah, because basically, a lot of the times they delay trucks because activists are here. Ask yourself, why would they pride themselves on transparency, yet when we arrive, they take this gate off an automated system and put it on manual so they can pull it and push it faster, okay? Because they don't want you to see the animals, because when people see the animals go into slaughter, people go vegan. They don't want to partake in this violence. They don't want to do this, okay? Because people just don't know about these industries yet. Go to the link in the description and watch Dominion on YouTube. I'm not here to hate on you, I'm not here to rage bait, but I am here to protect the animals and defend them. And I will speak factually. I won't speak from my opinion. I won't speak through any sort of misinformation. I'll only speak the facts, and that's what we're talking about today. Did you know that piglets at 6 months old get forced into CO2 gas chambers? Did you know what cashmere is? Did you know that's the skin of goats that have been genetically modified to grow such long hair? Okay, and what they do is they take this long comb and they pull their hair out of them whilst they're alive. Torturous and evil. For something that we can just make with something else, synthetic, it's horrific, it's evil. Just like the wool industry is absolutely diabolical. It's an evil industry where they force these animals into existence. Go on our Instagram, it's Mel and Steve, see the last short that I made about how they make them pregnant. It's horrific. This is a slaughterhouse. Behind me, oh, he's on the phone now, I can hear him.
Truck's leaving.
Truck's leaving. This truck's leaving. They've been in here for ages. This truck had cows in from the dairy industry today. Shame on you. If you were vegan, you'd be strong enough to push that gate. Look, see in the lairage here. See in the lairage. This is the dungeon where animals been taken into today. Shame on you. How dare you do this? How could you? What made you such a weak person? Where is your heart? Where is your brain? Where is your empathy? How are you so heartless? How do you have no heart? Where's your integrity? You have no morals. Shame on you. Blood is on your hands if you are not vegan. If you work in this industry, you are the reason why animals are being exploited and used. Let's get that over the fence. You can see the lairage is open right now. We're going to show you over the fence, guys. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. You are looking inside of a slaughterhouse Right now, this is a lairage. This is where the animals are all dropped into. Every single animal that gets killed walks this walk. This is the Green Mile. They walk this walk into the slaughterhouse and they will be stabbed in the throat today because you're not vegan for things like meat and dairy. Guys, please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan, double tap this live stream, like, share, and comment. I'm just going to switch back in with Steve.
Sorry, do you want to get it?
Yeah, I'll get it.
You got it?
Yep.
Guys, like in our disclaimers, we're not here to clash with non-vegans, we're not here to butt heads, we're not here to point fingers and say you're a bad person. We're here to give you the truth and nothing but the truth. Because the animals depend on you knowing the truth so you can be educated as to whether you want to continue to be violent towards them or not. The reason why we're here live streaming is to show you the reality that the industry tries so hard to hide from you. They don't want you to see this, they don't want you to know this. They don't want you to know that they have to separate families for you to exploit them. They don't want you to know they have to force these animals to be pregnant.
Oh.
They want you to, oh, it smells so bad.
Oh, stinks.
Oh.
Ugh.
Guys, if you want to see the reality and the truth of all these industries, go into the link tree in the description of this live stream and press on Dominion. Watch Dominion the movie and watch Pignorant. Them 2 documentaries within that link tree will show you the truth and the reality that the industry tries so hard for you not to see. And the reason being is because they know that if good people who have an empathetic heart or a bit of compassion in their heart see the truth, then they'll go vegan and then they lose their profit margins. These industries aren't stopping civilization collapse. They are a business and they've marketed their business to you in the very best way possible. They first of all make you think that it's a necessity, that you need it, and then they also make you think that it's humane and ethical. So you never ever critically think about it or question it. But I'm here and Mel's here to tell you that it's complete marketing tactics. It's a complete nonsense. It's not humane and ethical. There's no right way to do the wrong thing and you don't need it. Therefore, there's no justification for it. And therefore, when you have an option to choose to continue to be hurtful towards animals or to be kind, you should morally be obliged to choose to be vegan.
A few people are saying, why would I listen to someone who doesn't even know about the industry or has ever entered a farm?
Then go and watch the documentaries that I've just told you. Don't listen to me then, but go and watch the documentaries. Go and see the undercover investigations that have been done. Go and see the reality that's been brought to light by activists. And then ask yourself, why isn't the FSA in there showing the consumers and public this? Why isn't the RSPCA in there? Why isn't the Red Tractor certification in there? Why isn't all the other marketing labels in there defending the animals? Because they're all part of the industry, they're all part of the system.
We've got Chris Witts that put, I'm not vegan, but I support you.
Chris, thank you for being in this chat first and foremost. I appreciate your time. But listen, you can't be vegan and support us because you can't support someone who you are literally against. The animals. It's like I can't say I love animals and I'm not vegan. If you're someone who says I love animals but you're not vegan, 2 things have happened. You've been indoctrinated and you've been conditioned. Because if you do truly love animals, stop and think about it for a second. And what stops that love extending to all the other animals, cows, chickens, pigs? What's stopping you? This is the industry. It's deceptive by design. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan. Be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream and please share on your socials. We are here today live outside of a slaughterhouse. This is an ABP slaughterhouse where they're executing and murdering cows from the dairy industry and cows from the meat industry. We're not here to cause alarm, harassment or distress. We're not here to cause any form of intimidation. We're here under our right to protest, under our right to assembly and freedom of speech. We're not here to clash with non-vegans. We're not here to point fingers and say you're a bad person if you're not vegan. We are simply here to show you the truth because the animals' lives depend on it. And your choices will dictate whether them animals are free or them animals are oppressed. Do you want to be the person who oppresses animals or do you want to be a person who frees them?
Someone said, what do you mean by our choices?
When you go to the supermarket, when you go to the clothes shop, when you go and buy your cosmetics, when you go for a day out, you can choose to either pay for animals to be exploited by being trapped in zoos and aquariums, basically water prisons or just prisons. You can either pay for animals to be exploited to run around tracks until they die, like dog racing or horse racing. You can either go to the shops and buy clothes made of animals who screamed and fought for their lives on slaughterhouse floors, or you buy vegan clothing, or you go to the supermarket and you buy food items that were people or individuals who wanted to live, or you buy the vegan options. Your choices dictate whether this violence perpetuates and continues or stops. And that's simply, are you vegan or not?
We've got Dylan who said, what do you eat for protein? Please answer my question.
Thanks, Dylan, for your comments. My main sources of protein are seitan's, my favorite. I also like tofu and tempeh, but I also like the vegan chicken and I like the vegan burgers, and they're absolutely fine. No problems there, good for protein. So yeah, just get the vegan option. Dylan, go into the link in the description here, go to the bottom, and at the bottom of our link tree, there is help to go vegan. What have you seen?
I can see them washing the floor here. Let me just capture this.
Oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? Let me give this over too.
What are they doing there? I'm gonna put the camera up, I can't see right now, guys.
What are they doing? Yeah, he's washing all the floor down. What is that you're washing away? Is that defecation or is that blood? You may be able to wash away the wee and the poo, but you can't wash the blood away from this place. You can't clean yourself of the blood that was spilt in this building. The blood of the innocent, the blood of the kind, the blood of the victims. You cannot wash that away. The blood-stained floors of the fallen victims who begged for mercy by your hand inside these buildings. They will forever be on your hands. That blood will forever be stained on your soul. Absolutely disgraceful, absolutely disgusting. I'm going to tell you what they potentially could be doing right now, but I want you to subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat. If you're not vegan, but you're open-minded, so while we're here, subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Now listen, there's a reason why they might be washing that down over there. And it's because dairy cows, when dairy cows come to slaughterhouses, they're often because they're spent, they're exhausted. They go down in the trucks. Sometimes they go down on the farm and they put them on the slaughter truck anyway because it saves them having to kill them and execute them on the farm. They're so exhausted by being depleted of all their nutrients and all their life that they can no longer stand. Now when I say dairy cow, I mean a mother who's had baby after baby after baby forced upon her and taken away from her. That's the dairy industry. Subscribe and 1 if you're vegan, subscribe and 2 if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations, and subscribe and 3 if you're anti-vegan. Sometimes when they go down in the trucks at slaughterhouses, they come out and they execute them on the trucks. The trucks are full of blood, they're full of defecation, and we've seen it with our own eyes. Now she sometimes, and we have witnessed this, 99% sure that we have witnessed the execution of a cow in front of other animals on that truck because she couldn't stand and she was blocking animals coming off that truck behind her. Absolutely abhorrent, evil, disgusting industries. And then these farmers, these animal farmers, pride themselves on caring for animals. Bullshit. Animal farmers don't care about animals, they care about their profits.
Exactly.
Subscribe and 1 if you're vegan. Subscribe and 2 if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and 3 if you're an anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. We are live outside of a slaughterhouse, bringing you the reality and the truth live. It is 5 to 1 on the 29th of July. We're here at ABP, showing you the truth live. And if you want to see inside that building.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. No, they were really thumbs up
really
of appreciation. If you want to see what happens inside these buildings, then go into the link in the description, go to the link tree and go and watch Dominion. Dominion will show you what happens to these animals on the inside of slaughterhouses. And you tell me if that's justified for a bacon sandwich, for a burger, for sausages, for a leather jacket, for some leather shoes. I'll tell you what, it's not. Absolutely horrific. The industry have told you a market full of lies and they make you believe in this. It's called indoctrination, it's called conditioning. You're told that it's humane, you're told that it's ethical, and you're told that it's necessary. It's none of them things. It's violent, it's oppressive, it's exploitative, it's murder.
Someone said, Elizabeth, explain to me, how do we survive?
You survive by eating plant-based options. You survive by just not oppressing others. How do we survive not having slaves? How do we survive not being racist? You just don't participate in that exploitation. You just don't oppress them victims. And when your why is strong enough, why should you be vegan? Because you don't want to hurt and be violent and exploit animals. Then why you should be vegan is always your focus. And all these hows fall into place really, really easy. I'll give you the how in our live stream. How help to go vegan is at the bottom of our link tree. Click on that and you'll get all the help you need. You survive by eating plant-based options.
What a cry for help. Jackson, I'm a dairy farmer. You being vegan doesn't do anything, you're just stupid. Wow.
Okay, Jackson, if you're a dairy farmer, the first thing I want to say to you is fuck you.
Yep.
You're an evil person to what you do to them animals,
yep.
And I hope that you hear the screams of your victims for the rest of eternity every single time you close your eyes. And the reason why I'm talking like this, anyone who's listening to me, the reason being is because Jackson, the dairy farmer, forces pregnancy on mother cows.
Yeah.
He rips away the babies from them the day that they're born after carrying them for 9 months inside their tummies. If they're male, they get sent off to be executed within a couple of days. If they're female, people like Jackson put them in isolation hutches away from their mothers. Their mothers are then exploited, have every drop of milk taken from them. When she can no longer fucking stand up anymore, they shackle her back legs to stop her from splaying and falling over because she's so exhausted. I've seen dairy cows being dragged around farms with ropes around their necks by tractors because they're so fucked they can't stand up because the industry exploits every fucking ounce out of them. They're absolutely driven to the point of collapse, and then people like Jackson fucking shoot them and chop them up and turn them into fucking burgers. And then they tell you that dairy cows eat grass and produce milk. Jackson, bullshit. Any animal farmer, you're a piece of shit and you should go to fucking prison for what you do to animals. That's my opinion. I think it's a crime what you commit to animals. And then you have the audacity to dress it up to the public like you're some kind of savior, like you're stopping civilization collapse, like you're some kind of bedrock for civilization, that without you oppressing and exploiting animals, the world would just blow up and no one would be able to sustain themselves. What you do to these animals is an absolute atrocity that should never be forgotten. Your name should go down in history as being evil to animals, and it should be an industry that is absolutely abolished. That's my opinion of Jackson. Stop lying to the public, stop exploiting animals, stop being the horrible human that you are, and leave animals alone. They're here with us, not for us. Them animals that you farm, them dairy cows, they are mums. You kidnap their babies and you execute them all for your profit margins. Shame on you. How dare we glorify dairy farmers or any farmers that farm animals? How dare we do it? They profit off of the backs of the blood spilt by the innocent victims who can't defend themselves. The vulnerable animals who are shut inside sheds, who are trapped inside cages, who have shackles tied around their feet and given numbers. What the fuck have we done to animals? What the fuck has civilization done? What the hell is happening to humans? Why do we then laugh at this injustice? What the hell is going on? This needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Anybody responsible in these industries needs to be held accountable fully. Absolutely fully. They're different to the members of the public because they know they're there. They're doing it themselves. Animal farmers are doing it to animals. Slaughterhouses are doing it to animals. They're different to you. If you're a member of the public, if you're a number two, you have the indoctrination and you have the conditioning. You don't know any different. But trust me, these animal farmers and slaughterhouses, we have this appeal to authority for farmers for some reason. They know what they're doing to animals. They're evil, disgusting people, in my opinion. They should be held accountable. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals, if you believe that animals should be exploited in any way that you see fit. Double tap the live stream, click on the top 3 links in the description and go and watch Dominion and go and watch Pignorant. Go to the bottom of that link tree and get help to go vegan. You're looking inside of a slaughterhouse right now. This is live. There's a layerage, and over to the right-hand side there, that's where the animals' skins that have been ripped from their bodies get put into buckets and then sold so they can make shoes, so they can make handbags, so they can make jackets, so they can make items made of their skin. How disgusting, how shameful. We take absolutely everything from these animals and we give them no respect. We give them not an ounce of consideration. Imagine if you existed and had no moral consideration to you whatsoever. Then you know what it's like to be an animal in these farm systems. Then you know what it's like to be an animal inside a laboratory. Then you know what it's like to be an animal on a racetrack. Then you know what it's like to be an animal inside a zoo, inside an aquarium, locked in a cage. What we do to animals is absolutely disgusting. The only thing that humans need from animals is forgiveness. And even that does not justify or wash away the sins that we have committed to these most innocent, beautiful animals. I'm going to swap in with Mel.
Yeah, guys, please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan. Yeah, subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. I'm at a slaughterhouse. Behind me, they're killing cows, grieving mothers from the dairy industry who had their babies kidnapped from them and killed. Did you know that if you're drinking cow's milk, there's an animal, like the cows have had their babies taken away, killed. Cows are extremely maternal animals. To take their baby away from them is torture, it's torment, it's disgusting and it's evil. It's like someone walking into the maternity ward for humans and removing all the babies. Those mothers who had just given birth to them and carried them for 9 months in their tummy, just like cows, would scream, would do anything to protect their babies. So do those cows. So do those cows. They're mothers too, just like anyone on here who is a parent. You will understand the heartbreak and the torment that that would cause you if someone stole your baby, stole your child, and then took a knife to their throat and stabbed them and decapitated them for breast milk intended for them. That's what happens to cows. They have their breast milk stolen from them that was intended for their baby, who they were forced into existence to be sold to people so they can kill them and make money from their bodies and from their breast milk. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. We are not here to hate on you. We are not here to point fingers at you, but we are here to be direct, we are here to be honest, and we are here to be factual. If you are an animal farmer, you are the scum of this earth, and I hope you go to prison for the rest of your life, because it doesn't even come close to what you deserve. You deserve to go through the oppression that you have forced upon the animals.
Robert, thanks for your comment, Robert. But what are your thoughts on orcas that are used for entertainment?
Horrific, absolutely awful. Thank you for bringing this point up. No animal should be taken from the wild and put into a prison, because that's what you're doing. Zoos are prison for animals. And in fact, when I was younger, I used to love going to the zoo because I loved animals. They used my love and compassion for animals against me to make profit from the exploitation of the animals. You know what they do with the orcas? They will kill a whole pod of orcas to take 1 baby. Same with dolphins. They will kill the pod of dolphins to take the babies.
Frost Thornput, I'm a veterinary nurse and you are wrong on so many things. It's actually insane how uneducated you are.
Wow, you should not be a veterinary nurse. A veterinary nurse is pathetic. You don't know what you're doing. You're just a veterinary nurse, okay? You don't know what happens behind closed doors. And in fact, if you do and you're a veterinary nurse, you should be sacked immediately for hating animals that you're supposed to protect, okay? You're supposed to protect animals. You're supposed to defend animals. You swore an oath, vets swear an oath to protect animals. You're betraying them. You're betraying them if you're not vegan. If you are not vegan and you're a vet, you're a hypocrite. You may be a number 2, you might not know the industry, but the fact that you come in here saying that I don't know, I dedicate my life to knowing. I investigate places. Myself and Steve go inside. We make sure we know exactly what happens to animals, because this is hidden behind closed doors, and brainwashed people like yourself are mugged off. You've believed an industry that you know nothing about. I know this. I've seen inside. I've been on farms. I've witnessed the exploitation in front of my eyes. I've been outside slaughterhouses for over a year, every single week, for over a year, listening to the cries of those piglets crying and screaming for their life inside gas chambers. I've seen disabled chickens going inside gas chambers. I've seen disabled chickens who cannot stand up because they've been genetically modified to grow really large in a short space of time, on the trucks, gasping for their last breath. Thank you. More support from a lot of young people, you know, a lot of young guys. I have seen the victims for myself, and you haven't. You haven't. You've never stepped foot into these places. You don't know what you're talking about. And the fact, if you're a veterinary nurse, and I hope I never meet you, and I hope I never ever experience someone who hates animals to try and do something for my dog who might need help.
Anyone joining this live stream, where are we? What are we doing today? Where can they go to see more?
I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. Behind me, they're killing cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry. Everything that I'm telling you today is factual. Everything I'm telling you is standard practice. Behind me, they kill cows from the dairy industry. They call them spent cows. It means the farmer can't profit from them anymore. These disgusting industries, farmers are the scum of the earth. Animal farmers, that is. We don't need animal farmers. They are just an evil, murderous industry that are lying to you and taking your money. They are mugging you off. They're killing childlike beings because you pay their wage, because they have brainwashed you. They brainwashed you with words like humane, free range, organic. They put adverts out. They spend billions of pounds on adverts saying you need meat for protein. Every flipping brainwashed person thinks meat, protein, or milk, calcium. No, in fact, milk from cow's milk makes your bones more brittle. Accidental countries that don't drink cow's milk by accident have the least amount of fracture rates, okay? Cow's milk is too acidic for our environment because we are not cows. It takes phosphate calcium from our bones to neutralize our environment because our environment is alkaline. You'll be heightened to the risk of fractures if you're drinking cow's milk. But I'm not here about health, I'm not here about anything else other than the exploitation of the animals. You're not a baby cow. Why do you think you're drinking the breast milk intended for a baby cow when you're not a baby cow? Because they have lied to you and they've won. They've mugged you off and you believe their lies.
Adam Day 10, thanks for your comment. How can I become vegan whilst trying to have a healthy diet for a professional sports goal?
Legend. When you go vegan, everything will get easier and better for you. The people who like are succeeding at all different sports are the vegans, and vegans are like 1% right now. On a plant-based diet, you can get all your nutrients, and if you go to the link in the description, the Vegan Bodybuilder has a free guide to help you with anything that you need, questions, easy meals, but all our nutrients come from plants. All protein is made by plants, it's not made by animals. Animals just eat the plants, then they get the protein from the plants, and we kill the animals and eat the animals' secondhand protein. Remove the animals, stop killing animals, eat all the nutrients from plants. It's a lot easier than you think. As long as you meet your calories per day, you'll get the protein you need by default. More support, more support. Guys, please subscribe to put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe to put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe to put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, like, share and comment. You should leave this job. This isn't a job. This is the wrong side of history. If you work in a slaughterhouse, you are choosing the oppressor side. You are choosing to be racist towards the animals. That is a form of speciesism. Treating someone different purely on the way that they look. Using someone as a slave purely because they look different to you. A superiority complex that humans have. Don't be someone who oppresses animals. Be someone who protects animals. That's all we're asking for. The animals need you. We're speaking up for the animals, not for ourselves. We're speaking up for the animals behind me who are being stabbed in the throat as we speak. We're speaking up for those pigs who are burning from the inside out in gas chambers. We're speaking up for those chickens that have been genetically modified to grow really large in a short space of time. They're the disabled babies that get sent to a gas chamber at 42 days old. When you talk about KFC, when you talk about I'm going to have chicken, that's who you're talking about. The oppression to little babies who are disabled, little baby chickens. That's who you're talking about.
What do you say to people who say about being a vegetarian?
Vegetarian is the same as being an animal abuser. Vegetarian, you may be going vegetarian because you think that's better, but it's not, it's the exact same. In fact, the studies show that when you go vegetarian, you consume more eggs and dairy. Veganism and vegetarian are the opposites, okay? There's vegetarian and meat eaters and carnists here, speciesists here who are killing animals. Then there's the line, there's vegans who don't oppress animals. Vegans are just normal people who don't oppress someone else. That's literally it. That's literally it. It's not a diet, it's an ethical stance against the use and exploitation of animals. A lot of people on this live stream, I'm sure, are sat next to their dog and cats that they absolutely adore, who are looking at them. You probably protect them with your life. That is your